Hi everyone, welcome to another challenge run by Ariak. This one's for game breaking in 25 minutes. Now as you can see by the character's name here, BKH plus 5 dash, that should be fairly obvious what weapon I'm going to be going for in this run. The Black Knight Halberd. Now I've had quite a few suggestions, comments, on my overpowered in 10 minutes video, asking me why I didn't go for the Black Knight Halberd, or saying just how much stronger the Black Knight Halberd is. And while I can't disagree that the Black Knight Halberd is a lot stronger than a fire great scythe, it's not just overpowered, it's game breaking, the way I see it. Being overpowered can be overpowered for a certain area in the game, or for certain bosses, but when you've got the Black Knight Halberd, it is one of those weapons that can carry you through to end game, new game plus, and even to end game in new game plus, which is why I never chose that one for my overpowered in 10 minutes video. The reason I'm doing this is, as I mentioned, there are a lot of comments and suggestions. I've also had a few video response notifications. So I went and had a look on YouTube to see what videos I could find, and I did see quite a few videos in which players were out there obtaining a Black Knight Halberd. I think the first one I came across, the guy took about 11 minutes, give or take half a minute or so, just to obtain the Black Knight Halberd. There was another one, player in that one took about 16-17 minutes to be able to wield the Black Knight Halberd, and this is just minimum level requirements, without any upgrades. In this video, I'm going to be obtaining the Black Knight Halberd within the first 5 minutes. By 11 minutes, I'll have the minimum level requirements to wield it. After about roughly 15-16 minutes, I'll have the level requirements to be able to one-hand the Black Knight Halberd. And then roughly about 25 minutes, I'll have the Black Knight Halberd at plus 5. So, cut out most of the loading screens, and at the very end of this video I'll show you the character which has the Black Knight Halberd plus 5, the in-game time, which I think actually takes into account the loading screens as well. If it does, just take a couple of minutes off that time and it should give you a fairly accurate read of just how long it took me. Now for this, there's 2 starting classes you can use if you want it to go as quickly as possible. The Warrior and the Hunter. Now I would recommend the Warrior just because you do get the heater shield, which has 100% physical damage reduction, which is extremely useful for when you do go after the Halberd wielding Black Knight. This is actually my 4th attempt, I believe. The last 3, I killed the Black Knight, who drops the Halberd with 4 humanity on the counter 3 times. Wasn't so lucky. I'll just point out with this Drake here, as you're running towards it, if you keep close to the edge, it'll do one of 2 things. It'll either start breathing its lightning breath directly towards you, in which case swerve around to the right and run behind it. Other times it'll actually turn its head to the left and then start breathing its lightning breath across, sweeping it horizontally. If it does do this, just stay as close to the edge as you can without falling off, obviously, and run past the Drake to its left. Now, as I was saying, this is my 4th attempt at obtaining the Black Knight Halberd. The first 3 attempts, within 10-15 seconds, the Black Knight was backstabbed off the edge without any major dramas. This time it just didn't want to cooperate. As you can see here, just constantly keeps backing up and walking up that ledge. And just being a general pain. So I think it takes me about a minute and 10 seconds for something that really should have only taken me about 10 to 20 seconds. So that's a bit of a loss of time there that I wasn't too happy about, but because everything else went quite smoothly, I didn't really feel like sitting down and running through another 25 minutes doing the same thing again. Especially seeing as it took me 4 attempts to get the Black Knight Halberd in the first place, so... Now, a mistake I actually did make here is I sent the lift back up on the off chance that I actually got killed on my way back by a drake. I recommend staying as close to the edge as you can to try and bait it into tilting its head to the left to do its horizontal sweeping lightning breath attack. But as you saw there, it didn't want to cooperate and just decided that it wanted to aim directly for me. Luckily I was able to roll through it, so... Now you probably noticed before, when I first entered the Valley of Drakes, I picked up the large Nameless Soldier and the Proud Knight Soul Shards. That's 3,000 souls there, as well as the 800 from the Black Knight. There's another 3 Soul Shards in Blighttown. All 3 of them are worth 3,000 each, which will give me roughly, I think it's off the top of my head, 18,000 souls. 16,000, it'd be closer to actually, which is just enough for me to level up to 22 strength, 18 dexterity with the warrior starting class, which is what I need to be able to two-hand the Black Knight Halberd. I probably could have jumped before then, I shouldn't have waited. Now, after I'm done obtaining the 3 large Proud Knight Soul Shards, I will be reversing Hollowing so that I get invaded by Manny's Mildred. Killing her nets you about 8,700 souls, so close enough to 9,000. Then after that I'll be killing Quelaag, followed by Ceaseless Discharge, which is another 40,000 souls on top. Now that'll give me enough souls to be able to level my strength up to 32, which will then allow me to one-hand the Black Knight Halberd. I'm just going to consume these souls now so I can level up my strength and dexterity and get this little skirmish with Anastacia Mildred over with as quickly as possible. Now, as some of you may have noticed, I was close enough to the Undead Parish before to be able to visit the blacksmith Andre to purchase the weaponsmith box. The only problem with that is, if I had purchased the weaponsmith box, I wouldn't have had enough souls to be able to level up for the minimum requirements for this weapon, which would make the boss fight with Quelaag go for about 5 minutes longer than what it actually does in this. I was really expecting to finish Mildred off with one riposte there. To get to the Undead Parish from the Blighttown Bonfire here take about 3.5 minutes roughly, if you don't stop for anything and you are under 25% equip load. So for me, it was an easy decision to choose to leave the weaponsmith box until I actually get back to Andre, and I don't think I actually bought it either. I think I just had him reinforce my Black Knight Halberd without purchasing any of the boxes. Now, I will be summoning Mildred for this boss fight, just because having a little the distraction there will make the fight go a lot quicker, especially when I'm dealing out damage with the Black Knight Halberd. So yes, even though Quelaag does get the increased health from having a phantom summoned, she's not going to be focused solely on me, which means I'll have more opportunities to deal out some big damage. And Mildred wants to play follow the leader here. Oh good, she's actually doing something now. Now, as you'll notice there, I unequip the Black Knight Halberd when I'm not actually fighting anything, and I just want to cover as much ground as quickly as possible. Because of the weight of the Black Knight Halberd, it puts me over the 25% equip load with base endurance for a warrior. The reason I rang the bell there was for the homeward bone. As you'll see, after I'm finished with the Ceaseless Discharge and homeward bound back to the Blighttown Bonfire, I make one other trip and homeward bound back to the Blighttown Bonfire again before I head over to the Undead Parish to upgrade my Black Knight Halberd. Excuse me. Now, some of you may have seen this in my starting new builds made easy video, where I actually go into detail on how to exploit the Ceaseless Discharge. For those of you who haven't seen it, I'll go over it as we come up to it here. Now, most people, as soon as they grab the gold hem set, they start running straight away to try and make it past Ceaseless Discharge before he swings. That usually results in getting hit. If you wait for the Ceaseless Discharge to finish his swing and then start running, you will make it past pretty much every single time. Unless you're actually doing something wrong or you're a bit too close, there's no reason that it should be hitting you there. Now, I'm not going to bother equipping a weapon here. I'm just going to wait for him to get stuck, and I'm going to start punching his arm. Now it's time to get back to Blighttown Bonfire. Now, as you can see, I've got 32 strength, 18 dexterity, and 14,000 souls left. Now, to completely upgrade the Black Knight Halberd, I need two things. I need 10,000 souls, 2,000 for each upgrade, and 10 Twinkling Titanite pieces, which I can easily obtain from the Great Hollow here, which is why I chose to ring the bell, so I had a second homeward bound after dealing with the Ceaseless Discharge. Now, there's only one area in the Great Hollow that I'm going to go to, and that's because there are 5 crystal lizards in this particular area. So I don't need to go any further than that to be able to get enough material for the upgrades that I want. Now, you will have to do a a bit of quitting and reloading here to be able to get all of the crystal lizards. There are 3 out in this main area here. Or this ledge area, I should say. And there are 2 in the tunnel. I managed to get a slab there, which is always nice, but I don't need it for this run. I think this character ends up at level 28, so if there's any PS3 users who want a free slab before I delete this character, just send me a message on my PSN. I think my friends list is full at the moment, but if you send a message, I should be back to you within a day. Didn't mean to use humanity there. I sat down at that bonfire thinking I was going to be able to reinforce my weapon then, but yeah, I've got to head to the Undead Parish to do that. Yeah, so I'm not going to be leveling this character anymore, so anybody who does want a free slab, it's going to be first come first served, and I think the level range for which I can summon would be between level 16 and level 40 at the end of this. Would be about right for a soul level 28. And I might just start doing that with any future temporary characters that I create for short challenge runs. You know, any sort of materials or weapons that are worthwhile having. I'll offer those out to pretty much whoever wants them and who's within level range. Otherwise, the characters are only going to be deleted, so it seems like a bit of a waste of a slab to me. I mean, I probably could do with it on one of my other builds that are in progress, but the majority of them are well over the level 70 range, so there's not much chance of being able to get it transferred onto one of those. I know this is coming a bit late, but the reason I choose to fight Manita Mildred in the tunnel where the bonfire is because the giant mosquitoes don't tend to follow you up too far in there. And without any poise, when they start spraying their poison on you, even that can stun you. And in the middle of a fight with Mildred, it's not really what I wanted to happen, which is why I always lure her back to the iron fence that's up there. Or wait for her there, I should say. You don't need to lure her, she comes after you anyway. I mentioned that before. Drake tilts its head to the left to do excuse me, a sweeping breath attack. If you just stick to the ledge and keep running to its left, you avoid the attack as you saw just before there. Got a bit of a sore throat today. One of the things I wanted to bring up was Anastacia of a store, the Firekeeper and Firelink. Now, there's a lot of different people who say a lot of different things about how her death is actually triggered, so I just wanted to clear up any misconceptions that some people may have on that one. Now this is something I've tested several times over. I may even consider doing a video recording all of the tests from start to finish, just to show you that there are two triggers that actually cause Lautrec to escape from his cell, kill the Firekeeper, and take off. The first one is by ringing both bells of awakening. Ringing the bell in Blighttown alone is not a trigger. The second trigger is to collect the 3 Firekeeper souls from the Undead Parish, New Londo Ruins, and Blighttown. Collecting any combination of 2 of those Firekeeper souls is not a trigger. Collecting the Firekeeper soul in Blighttown is not a trigger. You have to collect all 3 for her death to be triggered. I'm not sure if that actually counts for the Fair Lady. Quelaag's sister. Here we go, reinforcing the Black Knight Halberd now. So yeah, it may actually be possible to obtain a 3rd Firekeeper soul from the Fair Lady by killing her without triggering Anastacia's death. But that Firekeeper soul is obtained in a different way, so obtaining the 3 Firekeeper souls that are there as available items to pick up are the ones that can cause her to die when you collect all 3. That's a trigger. So just doing a damage test now. Black Knight Halberd +5. I wasn't keeping my eye on the time then. I think it was about 26 minutes, roughly, give or take 10-15 seconds or so. And there you have it, game breaking in 25 minutes. And that's all there is to it. So as you can see here, my stats 27 minutes 18 seconds. Loading screens maybe about 2 minutes, 25-18 maybe.